of the population. You can follow this unprecedented effort with our new vaccine tracker. That's on our website at ctvnews.ca. Protesters in Toronto issued an SOS today, Save Our Seniors. They gathered outside a long-term care home.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Northern Life News Update. Jerrison, apologies for the previous update that happened in the past few hours because somehow there was a ton of problem with my internet, but it's now fixed now. It shouldn't drop now, so it should be all good. But it was, again, the news update say things quickly, so as while we're doing the update a few hours ago, somehow there was an earthquake in the in Ibaraki, which known as Reno copies. Apparently it was, I think, around a 3, 5. It wasn't big, but I mean, it's all good in Japan. But well, in the case of the coronavirus pandemic, now in my area we actually have actually the amount of cases went down to like about 382 cases, which is all good. Though in California, it appears that their lockdown is still happening, which like the gang at the Soul Podcast was all doing really good right now. So we're doing another news update because somehow because we got a major thing happen yesterday, and also we got some various, of course, the music specials that we're having this winter. Of course, with the Japan Record Awards, which will be actually happening today. It'll be on at 5:30, about a few hours on TBS. It'll be on at 5:30 GST. 3:30 EST, 12:30 PST. Now, the Japan Record Award is the Japanese version of the Grammy Awards, which it's like, of course, the nominations were announced actually just last ago. Well, now so the host of the awards for this year is still the same, the two from last year. So quickly, the songs that are nominated for best song at the this award here are, as of a few groups have been nominated. In case of idol groups, a few groups have been nominated, including like for AK-46, AK-48 and AK-46. But it seems like this that are nominated for best song that they are Daichi Mur and I'm Here. Jerrison is nominated again for which apparently with most of the songs nominated this year, most of them are like charity songs for coronavirus relief. Apparently with the Jerrison song, I mean, kind of also involves coronavirus because the music of the song is like a woman trying to, and then apparently the members in the group kind of called her. And we have Little Glee Monsters. Well, actually, previous instances their coronavirus single, which actually the music of that song was actually filmed in like one take, which although I know one of the members in the group is currently having a hiatus, Sana. And although their recent single, they actually did a collaboration with the Pentatonics, which they're big in Japan too. And then we have Aito, the Burger Place worker singer, was nominated for the song. One of the probably was big this year, and like though you probably know the song's like. The only thing about that, as I know, the song was actually released in 2018, but then I think had a major thing like last year. But then I think with the rules of the award show, or somehow I know like the song that got the best song at the was last year, Fu and Paprika. Yeah, we're gonna have to hear that song again here since the Summer Olympics in Tokyo this year, but not until next year. And the song was released in 2018, but then it had a major release actually like the year for making it eligible for Japan Record Awards. But similar with the dish song that's nominated, which actually that was. But they were especially the version that's nominated was the first take version, which was the thing also this year. But the song was released in 2017, but they nominated the 2000 different from I think last year. But first take was the thing this year, but last year. Well, no case of idol groups. This year, NMB48 nominated for their coronavirus charities, for neighbors around the world, which it's a great song, but the song more like focuses on the core members more than the members. I mean, they shot it like they make it like while the state of emergency that was happening during the first wave of the pandemic, which that's well for HB48, there was none for their coronavirus single. There's something called Relief, even went apart, which it's a great song. Well, in that song where the four members would be will be seen, but then the falls on the current members. And I mean, although they kind of shows that Yui and Sakamuchi might be next, like the next Escamita and Yuko Oshima. But actually, a few hours ago, I actually talked to Arena Oda, which was known as Bell, was bonus Oshima in the group, and I kind of, which actually she'll be performing with the group in the award show today. So she told her like, "You're excited for the Japan Record Awards?" And she said, "Yeah, she's excited for the Japan Record Awards." So she'll be a good. So that'll be all good. And then nominated for the and then well, that's what they actually released. Actually, after the things, well, at the time the song was released, we thought that and actually, but things were starting to get back to normal. But in case you can actually so right now you can actually still get both charity singles for the team apart in August and around the world until Thursday, because produce from the both singles will still go to coronavirus relief. Then those on for best, I think there are one of the famous Enka singers also known for a song, and the Pumpin' Festivity, which not as great as USA, but I mean, and Lisa nominated for the theme song of well, now the highest grossing film of all time, which is the Demon Slayer, which is really, which I haven't seen the show yet or watched the film, but it's the theme song of the film is probably as epic as the probably very epic as, let's say, well, Avengers Endgame, which I mean like with, of course, I mean she also made the theme song of the show, well, Gurenge, which too, but I mean like she's not a one-hit wonder, just probably the highest grossing film of all time, because if the song gets the best song at the Japan Records this year, it probably might be she could be this as the Tsunami on Japan. Yeah, probably okay, but out of the songs that are like nominated this year, I'll probably say that maybe the song that could probably get best song at the Japan Records there might be AKB48 Went Apart, or maybe the Eito song, or maybe at least the theme song of the film Demon Slayer. But we'll have to wait and find out. Now it's just two categories clear. For like best new artist, which like some of the music I is Novel Bright, and I know there these three other musicians that I right. But though could have been nominated was Nizia, but somehow they got an award already. They, of course, it was that group that was formed from the Nizia project, which and the thing about and they got an award already, even though that sorry, whoops. Whoops. Just so like for best new artist, we have music that's nominated as new artist here is Noble Bright, as well as Bam Right Now and other things we know, but in some of the music is not nominated, but some of it they got an award already. I mean, as you know, Nizia was formed on the Nizia project, which is, they got the award even though they used to be the first person to step in the step, but they also like make you happy. Also, the thing about that is that with their producer J.Y. Park, is that he and Ray are going to release a collaboration single on Thursday, which that'll be interesting. So when that release, well, as Demon Slayer got an award too, even though that's a show, but maybe because for contributing to the TV and film industry since, well, I mean, the songs and the show and the theme of the film. Well, it was actually nice. Very well. And all of that famous singers also got his support. And Kenshi Yonezu got also got an award already for his album for his recent album Tracy, which was an album, but so good. Oh, BTS apparently got an award already, Best National Artist. Then the Special Lifetime Achievement Award might be MMR section of the special award show. And then Best Vocal Performance went to another famous Enka singer, which is on there you go. But also, somehow, this just in, I don't know, like that Arashi will be performing in the award show as well. That the Arashi farewell tour continues since that they will be ending, well, in a few days, and I mean, they're really the greatest boy band of all time, and apologies to any people in the BTS members in the BTS army and the directioners are be offended by that comment. I mean, they can do. I mean, Arashi, they can do anything, you know. Like, well, it's like one of the members in the group, Sakurai. Maybe also one of the major in Japan, New Zero. Oh yeah, and also shows that Hinazaki 46 is performing in the special too. Which kind of was the why Naokasaka maybe exhausted. It's because they were doing a lot of rehearsals for the various music specials. But I mean, yeah, so it's a. Sure, but I mean, so probably know. NHK. I mean, the Japan Records will happen in just about 5 hours. 5 hours 15 minutes on TBS. Of course, I know Rukami, Michael Positive will probably talk about it. I don't know all the other specials that happened during this winter. Maybe in the next episode of the show, maybe later this week, or maybe in the new year. Then to the other big special that's happening this week, and that's NHK Kouhaku, which I know in the previous news that I talked about it, but so I probably want to explain it again. So, as you probably know, if anyone who doesn't know what NHK Kouhaku is the New Year's Eve special that's shown on NHK, and how it works that there are various missions in Japan with find out who wins the special. But the two teams, there's just the red team, which has all the female musicians, and the white team, which has all the male musicians in the special. No, it's exciting because it's also kind of like their Ryan Seacrest and Rocket Eve. They're actually, in the past, I'm probably excited for this special more than Ryan Seacrest and Rocket Eve. And of course, the moderator for the special one, which is Tetsuya Mitsumura. I mean, he's great doing the moderator. I mean, he's the host of he has a show on NHK called Life, which good, but I mean, he's the little segment on the special where they involving his show, and it's tough because in the show Live he plays the head of NHK, and then he plays other people too, but it's not really a show too actually. So anyway, I was talking about with the NHK Kouhaku. Yeah, so there's the poster for the special, and apparently found that somehow that the astronaut from Japan that's actually in the special space station will actually make an appearance in the special too. Plus, we also know that somehow before they actually announced the lineup for the special this year, but here's that Snowman, who apparently had one of the members in that group had the coronavirus, and because they're not been replaced, but instead with Yoshiki doing X Japan's Endless Rain. But I'll get two more about the lineup of these. But first about the host this year, so you know that the is still the moderator, but the host this year are a bit different than their usual, as you can see here on this page here. Down. So apparently we have the captains of this year, as you see in this picture here. The head of the red team this year, actually on the left, is Fumi Nakano, who's like a famous, I think, well, head of white team is Yozono, who hosts the show Songs, which also airs on NHK, like music show, and a cool guy too. So good. So now let's quickly go through the lineup of this which actually they just released the order of the performances that performed. So in the case of this year, I note that almost all the 46 will perform there, like Nogizaka, Hinata Zaka 46, and Sakurazaka 46. Well, also Baby Metal, since there's will perform in the special too. But in case you probably want to know what happened to AKB40 appears that they're not performing in the special this year because because the 46 groups are now most dominant. Probably now we could say the biggest other group in the. I mean, Yoshimoto's not going to perform this well too, but they have no. But no, they didn't release a single this year, so I mean, they're still later, but they'll be in the special next year. So I mean, like, apparently when the lineup of the special was announced, somehow there was in AKB40 about it that, well, they might be, and I don't know this about like AKB40 Pride, but I mean, well, they might be that the being the special, pretty much probably very upset about that, and so it's like, I mean, like, about that, we'll talk more, show that, like, so the lineup of NHK Kouhaku this year. Anything to point out about musicians performing the special this year is that somehow that, I think at least half of the musicians performing the special are under Sony Music, since like they're now the new Avex, because Avex is doing this with you, but so in the lineup, but interestingly, because in the first half, Nizzy's performing in the special too. Said earlier, but like the I don't know that like the 46 groups will all be from Nogizaka 46. Yeah, so 46 and Sakurazaka versus in the first half of the Nogizaka could perform in the second half, but in the second half, Baby Metal and Nizzy have those things that they wouldn't be able to be in the first half, but oh no, they're in the second half, so they're gonna perform. So let's look at the lineup. So now let's say so Jerrison 46 they'll be doing Azatu Kawaii. Yeah, so that means but that they might be wearing the clothes they wore in this week. You're gonna see some legs. So Kumi's legs. Well, Sakurazaka 46 will be doing Nobody's Fault. That's their first single as Sakurazaka 46, but if they do wear the clothes they wore at the new station Christmas Ultra Super Live, then we're probably gonna see more legs on the next performance. Then, of course, Little Glee Monster will be performing for the coronavirus single. And then Nogizaka 46, well, Route 46, based on some rehearsal photos we actually got, they might be wearing the clothes they wore in the song, but also the rest of the group will be there. So that means there's a public chance I'm gonna see him showing the group Rena Yamazaki wearing the clothes in Route 46. I'm not sure what she might wear. She might wear the shorts or the pants, but I mean, she wears the shorts. I'll be like, okay, see Rena's legs. But before they perform, of course, they'll be in one of the special performances in the special this year, which is actually that happens after. They will do the Disney medley, which they'll be doing with King and Prince and also Naomi 101, which actually that performance is pre-taped. So that'll be exciting. Like maybe all of us will probably see the Disney performance, and also hear Mickey Mouse talking in Japanese. And then, of course, Nizia will begin the second half of the special with Make You Happy. Oh, yeah, Perfumes is performing too. In the program for singles. And, what did this perform? Oh, their recent single, Time Warp. Well, Baby Metal will be actually one of their early music. So yeah, so let's look at who else is performing. So Kim Prince will be with their recent single, I Promise. Foreign also guys. No, Mildred. This is a she's a famous singer. Apparently, like when we were watching like Music Station Christmas Super Live, somehow Anthony was like by Millet. That I mean, like it's probably gonna read that before we watch it. Casey Jump's doing there, yeah, there. I mean, then Jerrison is doing that song. Generations, yes. Yeah, all the XL fans are probably for Generations for you and I. Yes. Kiss My Foot will never give up. No special performance. Then Ito is doing his song. Then Juju is doing. Then you have the special performance from Green, which probably now Kouhaku is probably gonna be fangirly when they perform. Then Rashi, which in their last TV performance, which but by the time they're on, maybe where like a lot of you will be watching the show. It's like it's big, and then Lisa will do songs from Demon Slayer, which is Philly Dandisms, the I love. Conjuring 8 also their performance too. Tokyo, which is a band that Ringo Shina is in. They're gonna perform, and they're coming back. They have reunions here, and they're shooting us. Superfly is performing us to Mr. Children. Well, famous band. Well, documentary film. Jen Hoshino is doing Dancing on the Inside, which is a. Of course, it was a thing also this year during the coronavirus pandemic where he had this where he performs like he has an acoustic version of the song, and then you can actually use the video to make like more things. And I mean, I actually kind of did that with the little commercials I made, public service announcements I actually made during the pandemic, and then. Ends with then Yama will be also probably from a concert, and then Ms. Ya will end the special, which I don't know if she was released later, but she performed on Music Station last week, and she's doing very well actually. So that's the lineup of NHK Kouhaku this year, but we'll probably like find out. Now any of the teams could win, because I know last year the white team won probably because not just of Arashi, but also actually because of Takeshi Kitano, which probably was the comedian, actor, director, and art enthusiast. Sang a song because he had a somewhat early sing career, but Radams had a really interesting performance too, where Jen Hoshino was performing when he did the same thing last year. Because he didn't say the F word in that performance. He said it's all good. But also with the second screen experience, actually Naomi Watanabe will be, and probably I think the host Shibuya will be doing that, and then also the thing about Chicago this year is that they might have bought online voting bags through their new streaming NHK streaming service NHK Plus. I mean, there's also the voting through the TV, but I mean like through DTV, but probably that the amount of I think there's a chance that I think you might have a lot of votes because I think you vote, but kind of like when they had on the back there where you would vote for every time there's like two performances and you would decide which performance you liked. And then maybe you could try to earn votes, and then you can allocate the votes to which team you think you like. I mean, any team could probably win. I mean, red team could probably win it. It depends on because the key of how the is that you should not just the musicians performing in the teams, but also how they present their performances. Which yeah, I mean maybe I think maybe when the special maybe I'll do a little maybe live stream where I'll probably watch the entire special again. I'll probably just give my analysis of the of performances that happened in the film this year, which apparently it's probably gonna be very exciting, which will air in about actually this Thursday, but it has although for this edition of this it has a shorter running time, but actually like 50 minutes. So it usually begins around 7:15 p.m. But now it will begin at 7:30 p.m. JST, so that means about 5:30 a.m. EST, 2:30 p.m. PST. So we'll talk about that when we watch the next version. And that is a preview of what's going to happen on the rest of the New Year's Eve special. And also countdown. CDTV live. New Year's Eve live will be happening this after the NHK Kouhaku. First, their AKB will be there. Nogi's 46, Aka's 46, and Hassel's will all be there as well. And even Hinoshi Monozaka for this, they're going to be doing Stray Sheep. And also, Yuna Harate will be performing, her first single, since she's doing a solo career, with Reason for Dancing, which sounds okay, but I mean, good. And that's a preview of what's going to happen that will happen after NHK Kouhaku around 1:45 on TBS. That means about 6:45. 9:45 a.m. EST and 6:45 a.m. PST, and that's a preview of the Music Express, the music special this year. But now quickly to the major breaking news that we had yesterday. But it appears that NMB48's Ayaka Yamamoto, who is half of the future of the group, apparently announced that she will be leaving the group. And it's actually why is she leaving? She's possibly that she's the group, and then she's probably not sure about the pandemic was happening, but it appeared. Oh, and she actually announced this while she is about to find the thing quickly, but during her solo concert yesterday, she said that she was from the group because she could probably be a nurse. I mean, it was surprised that she could be, which is cool. But found out that her family actually are nurses too. But the closest thing I've probably seen to that is when Yobata from SK42, Yobata actually announced she left, and they all thought she was going to be the next face of that group, and say about with Ayaka announcing that she is that this might be kind of similar, in the case of it's actually similar case of famous actors in Japan named who apparently was first she was in many films of Yasujiro Ozu, and describe her as being Genki. She's probably his. With Ayaka, I know the thing about Ayaka is that she, and then somehow that she, also so she is young, and also she's very lucky as well too. But the thing is somehow that one of the films she was in was actually the film Tokyo Story, Tokyo Monogatari, which is one of his most famous films, and actually she's actually the Criterion Collection version of this. She's actually on the right part of the cover, and but I kind of with her because actually when Jesse Ozu passed away. Apparently apparently then she stopped acting, and then like after that she then became a nanny after that, which kind of maybe with the same years with Ayaka. Like, as we can see from so the tweet she made about it. So I mean, yes, the surge of the cases of glass erosion in the AKB is starting to happen. This might be the beginning of the NHK Kouhaku curse, where many people, because like when AKB is able to perform NHK Kouhaku again, then many members are going to probably announce they're going to leave the group. So the picture taken by Yuki Azuma, who also announced she's leaving the group too. She'll be the group's official photographer. But for sure, and then there's like, now that it appears, well, at least we still have Kokina. We're still in the group, so I mean, everybody else is still in the group. But I mean, the thing about Ayaka, well, I mean, for me, because I actually talked to her like a few times on the. Sure, I'm like, I mean, I have to thank Shion Hoi for that, because apparently in her like 24-hour live stream she does on her birthday, when I said like good morning and then how are you, and like, yeah, I mean like, what issues? I mean like, she also likes to do bonsai, like bonsai trees too. I know so yeah, this is well, this year just got more interesting at least. Oh yeah, and also she also likes she also does karate too, which is as well. But it's like but at least I mean but she does well when she becomes being a nurse. Nice views. Hey, and then at one point maybe so yeah, and apparently that's a quick talk about the big major breaking news I have yesterday, but also before we on a thing about like the virtual handshake events. So I should probably said in the previous news update that Michael went to the virtual handshake events of Sakura 46's recent for her single Nobody's Fault, and apparently he talked to his group acting more, which will probably get his report his exclusive report with members he saw with Akin and other members he saw from our next first show. Everyone also said that she said I'll be going to the virtual handshakes for Sakura 46's hit single I Love Myself. And probably talk more. Probably members I'm probably gonna see at that. She would include like my Ocean Liver and Nomazaki. It's very is here as well as Maya Wada, and then probably as well as Rei Sumeya, and who's in the song, and Yuri Kitagawa. We also went to Kiddo University, which was the same university that Rena graduated in right as well. But first, information about those head events. So, but as right now, the next rounds of the head event for those singles actually have been released. It has been now the nomination. Oh, sorry. Let's go about it. And we're going as quickly as I can. Like try to. But well, quickly is how well you can get a ticket to the virtual conference for at least for the 46 groups as well as the University Higher groups and NMB48. I mean, also Matt made a guide about that on his. If you want to see that. But as you probably so quickly. So to make tickets for the virtual 100 for those, you would have to make an account with Fortune Music, and in order to do this, you have to have maybe like you have to use a proxy to just so you can see the CDs of the single. So once you make the account, then you go to the page, this page, which you can see when you're in the website, you can actually just select some of your favorite groups as favorites. So we're going to first go through what about the handshake for Gazaka 46 is I Love Myself. So you go to Gazaka 46, and there's the Route 246 there, which I probably updated soon with the pictures for I Love Myself. Yeah, a lot of these. So there's the current round of the handshake festival right now, which is happening right now until January 8th, and then first you would get the tickets, and then we want to see. Then after that, we would, and it usually begins on one day, and then it ends until like it's around like let's say it's like 9 p.m. 9 p.m. PST, and then it goes until like the next day at the same time. For that, they would have the results a few hours later at about but 1 o'clock PST, and then after that you would have 2 days until about 6:30 PST to pay for the CDs. So, it's like which members are still available for tickets for this one. So, click this button here. It shows the stats of that handshake. You have to click this. Whoops. More information about the single. Oh. Oh, hold on. Just gotta get there.
We've made progress, but it is unpredictable, and I think that's the biggest problem. If we have to build up an apparatus to administer what we
so then you go to the thing, and then find the. Let's see what numbers we got still available right now. So for the single, the handshake will happen on the January 31st, February 7th, February 14th, February 27th, March 14th, and March 21st. So, well, for me, okay, so I'll be going to the handshake events on February 7th. So let's see for fun. Let's see what members are still available for that handshake event. Okay, so Maya's still available. Okay, Rena's still available too. Though, case that probably might be sold right now, like these. You're starting to be sold out. Mizuki Yamashita, at least for slot 2 is still available. Yuki Yoda is starting to get a bit slow too. Sakura Endo might be the next phase 2, but also is actually on my Nogizaka 46 calendar this month. She's starting to be sold out. Yurikita Gawa is still available. Okay. And then Race Samiya still available. And, oh, someone was sold out. And, yeah, so let's see for fun. Let's see the first day. Let's see if members are still sold out. Okay. Okay, one slot for Phoenix just sold out. Okay, still probably sold out. Oh, so a lot of members not sold out yet. Okay, Mr. Yamashita, Yoda, and Endo. Sold out. Okay, a few fortunes are starting to be sold out. Okay, that's for no, it's not for now for.
So those are the types of questions that they're asking. This is the planning that they are putting into place, and I think we're going to see a big difference in our ability to meet the needs of the people.
Listen, I know that I'm speaking.
Okay, I'm back. So, quickly to Sakazaka 46. Oh yeah, and equal levels of the handshake events for Yusamu. So for Sakurazaka, the few rounds have passed so far, but they have there's a few rounds for that. Okay, so the next round will begin on January 6th and goes until the 7th. Then you will find results later, and then you have to pay your CDs by January 9th. And again, for there's probably for the official handshake events, you can do when you do them is probably do not record the virtual handshake because you're probably banned from doing the onto the virtual handshake event with the force of music. But also, what you can do is probably maybe don't flash the numbers like what somehow one person did to Shiho Kato during a virtual handshake with 2046. I mean, just don't do that. So. I found out one quick thing before we end the news update, but first, one thing that actually happened earlier this month, of course, was the AK-48 SIM coverage, which happened this month, and actually, I was,
People are in your state struggling, as you know, some without enough food, no jobs.
actually, that's somehow that.
And listen, it's
No,
they gotta keep the heat on.
like we probably didn't like for the auditions, and somehow it was delayed because at the like rest, but maybe something I might do like. Even for maybe for next month, but maybe we'll do that. It's really good. And then in the end, STU48 Europe. Oh, that's Eurykida one. So good. Hold on. And oh, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm there. So apparently she won, and actually, I mean, she's a reason. I talked to her a few times, but actually, when I actually talked to her a few hours ago, I tried to say congratulations winning the, and also can't wait for the assistant, which whether will be available on February, I think February 16th or 17th, but I mean, also that ST4 will be doing in the Budokan next month, but the case are happening, but I mean. Yeah, she kind of reminds me of Yahagi, but I mean, she's saying it's great. I mean, she does this for her shows, and she sounds like Enka. So probably when you, maybe if you want to, maybe listen to some Enka, maybe listen to some Jerrison. Return Jerrison, and good, the Enka version of Arashi, and good. Well, that's things that happen in the. Well, in the past, this past week, this month, and also next week. But of course, sure when we're gonna do our next episode, but we'll probably do it at the end of this week or maybe the new year. But if we don't do that, so on behalf of me, Ruka, Michael, and Steve, and Anthony, and I don't want to say Happy New Year, and we'll probably see you in the new year if we don't do it in the next few days. Good. So that's the news. I'll see you later. Bye everyone. Don't you cry. Don't you cry.